What's poppin', y'all? This is Deidre with One Shot Game, man. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life, to see better results for each individual person. Like at the end of the day, the emotional stress of just even trying to survive one day could take a toll on someone, and you could dang near predict a day where it's just full of disasters. Like nobody wants to go through that. Everybody wants to have some type of mental peace in their life, you know what I'm saying? So again, just be open and willing to understand that if you're able to soak in knowledge and learn a different perspective from a different point of view, it could possibly help you to understand, instead of just thinking your way is the only way to know, and that, you know what I'm saying, you're getting the same results without trying to open your brain to something new. You know what I'm saying? So before I start, big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great. Myself as well as my supporters is the reason I put these videos out. You know what I'm saying? Listen, their numbers are low right now because people are still adjusting to this shift in life. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of people still focused on money. Money is okay for all feelings. Money is okay for all validation. Money is okay for all types of attention. Money is a form of love, and that's where people are at with it. So when you try to get them to look at a different perspective of life, it's hard for them to shift. So you know what I'm saying, just I'm giving it time, but I'm still going to give you guys some game so that, you know what I'm saying, you guys can probably look at it in a different way. You know what I'm saying? So again, I appreciate all the people who look at my videos. You guys are great, and I hope that, you know what I'm saying, you managing through life, because understood, it can get hard. Been there before, so I wouldn't wish that on nobody. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the title of my video is going to be on the shift in life right now. And you got to understand, a lot of people are ignoring it like it doesn't exist, but it's very much real, and it's affecting people's life on a major scale. You know what I'm saying? But they're so knee deep into what they're doing and what they got going on that they can't even pay attention to the little details. And by the time it hits them, they either medicate, don't want to acknowledge it, it hurts too bad, they don't want to pay attention. You know what I'm saying? And then they're not really looking at the fine details. You know how they say when you get a contract, always make sure you look at the fine print? Like, everybody in the world right now is looking at the contract and not the fine print. But the fine print is where all the details are. The fine print is where everything is that you need to know to improve your life is hidden in that fine print. But you just choosing not to look at it for whatever reason. Everything is personal to everybody. You know what I'm saying? When I make these videos, I'm really identifying with myself as being in that position, but at the same time, hoping to spread the knowledge to everybody. Because whether people want to believe it, we're all one. We may have the same experiences, different ways. A lot of us can relate to people as a whole. You know what I'm saying? So it's best if people start looking at the fine print in their life. Stop looking at the contract that's stressing you out every day, and look at the fine print, because it is so very important in life these days. You know what I'm saying? And due to this big change happening, like I'm seeing that a lot of people are losing their monetary possessions, their monetary value. They're being dragged down to a place where they have to look inside themselves without the monetary gain. And some people are so fascinated with money and the attention and love and admiration that they get from it, that they are having a hard time with understanding that the reason why you're having a hard time in your life right now is because you're choosing not to look at the fine print. You know what I'm saying? And listen, life is so complex that it could go many of different ways and scenarios. So I'm only going to use personal scenarios, you know what I'm saying, that relate to me, and hopefully that a person that's watching this has probably can relate in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Being the fact that we are all human beings that are very spiritual and having a human experience, a lot of the times our spirits are not lining up with the human experience, especially coming from the generation and culture we have come from. It is not okay to have feelings, and everything is of monetary gain. You know what I'm saying? And because of that thin line right there, everybody does everything to get the love, admiration, and attention through money, when that could be fake. That's really not your friend for real. That's really not your partner for real. They only hanging around you because you attract that type of attention by all the money and flashy things you got, not the type of person that you are for real. And an example of that would be, you can have somebody that has all the money, they always outside, they flossing, they look good, you know what I'm saying? And then one night y'all get on, or you know what I'm saying, it's a late night and they don't want you out, and you go to their house and that thing look like a disaster. You feel me? You wake up the next morning, they just laying in bed, you feel me? Covers smell like ass, you know what I'm saying? Ain't brushed their teeth, ain't got up and took a shower, you know what I'm saying? And that is their real mind state for real. The person they put on when they go outside is a whole different person from what they really want you to see. You know what I'm saying? And that them is really real for real. Like, their emotions and how they feel about life in general and themselves is not what you see at the club. That is just a disguise they put on so they can act like what's really real does not exist. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a pure example, you know? So, being the fact that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, at this point in life right now, a lot of humans as well as their children are gifted to the max, you know what I'm saying, which means they can see a little bit further in tuned into what's really going on, and that can cause a lot of disruption in their everyday lives. For example, I'ma just use my life for example. So me being the fact that I'm an extra sensory type of person, like I can go into a room of people and feel and just hear everything that is going on for real inside people. And if you know what I'm saying, do not know how to manage those gifts, it can cause a huge disruption to your life. You know what I'm saying? And you become extremely off balance because you have no idea what's going on, especially if no one has taught you how to manage them. It is very difficult. You know what I'm saying? And being the fact that I didn't have anyone to help me manage them, my life, you know what I'm saying, took a different route than it probably was supposed to, due to the fact that I had extra sensory perception. Like, it's not fake, it's really real and it really exists. But you have to have someone that can show you how to manage it. Otherwise, you will be taking in everybody's energy and emotions and not understanding what's going on. But it's not really you. And now you're doing everything that everybody else is doing, whether it's wrong or right. You know what I'm saying? Until you finally just understand and get the point, like, you know what, that I'm not going to keep doing that. But you got to think about it, like, not a lot of people actually look at something they're doing wrong and know it's wrong and stop. I don't know why that is, but it be like that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So, being the fact that in this pivotal time in life right now, I have came into who I really am. You know what I'm saying? I've also been blessed with the experience of having a karmic gifted child. And because of that, I have my own personal reasons for not allowing her to attend a regular school. And my reasons for that are being that because she is extremely gifted, she can feel emotions. She can feel people's energy as well. So being the fact that she's still young and she hasn't experienced a lot in life, she doesn't know how to understand and process what emotions and energy is hers and what is someone else's. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because as a human being, you know what's right and wrong. You know what I'm saying? So if you choose to do something still knowing that it's wrong and you take the consequence with it, it's kind of almost as if you're taking on that energy. You know what I'm saying? And being the fact that my child, and I'm pretty sure other kids out there as well, don't bystep this. You know what I'm saying? When kids are extremely gifted and they can feel people's energy and emotions, they will do things that they know is wrong and get in trouble for it and just figure out a smarter way to do it. Like, they're not taking that consequence as, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this. You know what I'm saying? They're only gonna figure out a smarter way to do something that they know is wrong, especially if you don't have the skills and knowledge on how to accommodate a gifted child. And being the fact that a lot of these schools don't know how to accommodate gifted children that can see and feel people's energies, what they tend to do is make it seem as if they have behavioral problems. They need to talk to a psychiatrist. They need to take some type of medication so they can behave like all the rest of the kids. You know what I'm saying? And it's not the way, because it only causes a lot of disruption in their lives. You know what I'm saying? And it's not something that you have to go to school for. This is not something that you know what I'm saying, have to learn in a textbook and go to school for 4 years. It is common sense that a lot of people in this day and age seem to lack. And when you hit them with common sense, they seem to take it as you are the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? But it's very real. And it's very accommodating to what's going on in the world right now. Like, whether people want to believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? So, being the fact that I don't have her in regular school, it tends to be a problem to everyone else. It's not because, for me, because a kid that is emotionally gifted, you know what I'm saying, has no problem with learning. Like, that's not the issue. The issue is they're not understanding and having the ability to process what's going on, especially if they have no one to mentor them so that they can understand what they're feeling and going through is not of their own. Now, the problem that I faced with understanding that was I was not the best mother I could be in her life for the first 8 years, due to me not being able to channel my emotions and what I had going on inside me, which caused me to be engaged in everything other than, you know, paying attention to her. So the effect of that caused her to be, you know what I'm saying, have insecure issues, not feel loved, not feel cared about. So when you have those emotions and feelings inside yourself and you go around people that, you know what I'm saying, have those emotions and those feelings as well, and you're taking on those emotions and feelings as well as dealing with your own, it causes a major disruption to your life. And again, like I said, it's kids who are always in the office. They're the only ones in there. They're having emotional outbursts, uncontrollable, you know what I'm saying, urges. They can't sit down. You know what I'm saying? They're having anger issues. Like, those tend to be the most gifted kids. But if you do not know how to handle them, You know what I'm saying? The first thing you're going to want to do is have them go talk to someone. You know what I'm saying? Have them do this and do that and the third. And it 9 times out of 10, it doesn't work. Because you're not getting to the root of the problem. You're just putting a Band-Aid on it. You know what I'm saying? And making that be what it is. You know what I'm saying? And this is just from my level of experience, you know. I had to be adjusted to my child from going from one life change to another. And, you know, a lot of people will just level it down to, oh, she's just going through this and she's just going through that and da-da-da. And you know what I'm saying? I'm going to let y'all have that. But when you know the deeper reasons to why your child is acting the way she's acting, you know what I'm saying? You could possibly help her understand and learn how to manage those emotions and feelings that she feels. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times when you have emotionally gifted adults and kids, it is vital that you spend a lot of time to yourself, especially if you're extra sensitive. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to be alone by yourself. Otherwise, the things that you do and say will cause a disruption to other people because they're not understanding what's going on, but you do. And it throws off other people. And you can feel like, you know what I'm saying, you don't belong. You know what I'm saying? As well as if you acted out and pretended and did everything everybody else was doing, knowing that deep down in your soul you do not feel comfortable doing what everybody else is doing, but you only want to fit in, so you do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Listen, the life that my grandmother had set out for my child and the things that she had her involved in, but due to my grandma not healing herself, she also had boundaries on my child as well. Like, my child is African American. She was going to all white private school, and I understand that my grandmother probably wanted her to get the best education. You know what I'm saying? But she's black. You know what I'm saying? In order for her to truly identify with who she is, she would have to be around other black kids. You know what I'm saying? So when I got my life together and we moved, I put her in public school where she had a chance to get involved with all types of kids, a lot of black kids, you know what I'm saying? And it caused a major disruption in her life. You know what I'm saying? Because she was always in the office. She was always having anger issues. She was always having outbursts. But if you come from a scenario where you're extremely sensitive and gifted and someone doesn't know how to manage those, they're only gonna pacify it with money, pacify it with things to get you to stop crying. I'm gonna buy you something. I got my own life going on, so I can't really listen to your day today. You know what I'm saying? I'm still struggling with things inside me, so I'm only asking you questions that pertain to the things that's going on inside me, not really with who you are for real. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a coincidence if your child is the only one that's getting called out of office all the time for having behavioral issues. You know what I'm saying? But us as people have to start understanding how to deal with those. Like, your kid does not need to see a counselor and therapy and psychiatrist and get prescribed medication, because that only gets them addicted to a medication to have them be on chill and calm down like a zombie and be attentive in the class like everyone else. But it does not solve the root of the problem. You know what I'm saying? For instance, I'm gonna just throw out an example. If, for me personally, you're in a relationship because you don't feel confident that you could make it out here on your own by yourself, you're in a relationship with someone that has the mental capacity of a kid still, and you're not only teaching them how to live life, but, you know what I'm saying, paying so much attention to them because they also have issues in their life that they didn't heal yet. You know what I'm saying? So now your attention is not focused really on your child, but on this relationship. So your child is acting out in numerous amounts of ways at school and at home, but you're not paying attention to it because you're so focused on this relationship that you need in order to keep everybody happy and keep your happy house and happy home, and everybody can be content because we got shelter. Man, we was in there, it was disruptive in there. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I try for the most part, you know what I'm saying, to keep my house clean, but I'm not gonna lie, on most days, the mental state of my daughter and the person I was with caused a huge disruption in the house. Like, it was, and me too, and it was just stuff everywhere. You know what I'm saying? We hardly cleaned up 2 and 3 days. We in, like, that is important. That shows a lot of where your mental state is. You know what I'm saying? So that also caused my child to be outside seeking attention from everybody else but me, because she didn't feel validated by me, because she didn't know me for the first 8 years of her life. I got out of prison, and I'm so focused on making sure I have everything so that I could get her back that I'm lacking in the emotional part that she needs from me, because I'm lacking in the emotional part I need for myself, because I'm so concentrated on someone else as if I need the emotional validation from them to be able to succeed in the world. And that is, again, attachment, which is not a strong bond. It's sometimes just something you're attracted to in your soul. And you have to break that cord in order to be able to move on. You know what I'm saying? So when the relationship ended, you know what I'm saying? Again, right person, wrong time. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to drag nobody or put nobody down because I don't have nothing bad to say about nobody. You know what I'm saying? But when that relationship ended, now I was able to focus more on my daughter, but I had another problem. I was too busy at work all the time, because in my head, I started tripping off of, dang, I'm not going to be able to have the shelter, you know what I'm saying, that we need for you know what I'm saying, me to keep her, because I was already going through a court battle with my grandma, and that's where my head was. So I was working any hours, all the hours that I can, to make sure I did what I could in a stressful way to keep what I had, so that nobody tries to take my child away from me, because I had already, you know what I'm saying, been without her for so long that I wasn't ready to face that yet. That would have hurt me again. You know what I'm saying? So my energy was more so on work, money. So in turn, I'm still lacking in the emotional love I needed to give to my child, because when she woke up and got ready for school, I called her. She had a phone, but I'm already at work. You know what I'm saying? When she get out of school, she at a friend's house, because I'm still at work. You know what I'm saying? And it's really taking an emotional toll on her. But you got to understand, when kids are young, they're not going to really express their emotions. They're okay with whatever you're okay with, because they feel like you the parent and they don't have no say-so. Especially if you make them feel as if they don't have no say-so. You know what I'm saying? They can feel your energy, and they know where it's directed at the most. And if it's directed to work, because you're so focused on keeping everything together, they're going to feel that, and they're going to know. You know what I'm saying? So one day I got up, and she was just crying. And she was like, you know what? When I wake up, you feel me? You at work, and then when I get home, you at work. And I just felt it, and I just stopped going. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Excuse my language, you know what I'm saying? Her emotional needs are very much more important to me, because it was times in my life where I felt alone, and I wish somebody would have just paid attention to the little details in my life, and I wouldn't have been out in this crazy world trying to seek validation and attention from others. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what, forget it. Her emotional, you know what I'm saying, well-being is way more important to me than anything. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just going to release the stress and worry of, you know what I'm saying, what needs to be done and solely focus on her. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not gonna get into all the details of my life. I lost things in the process, but also I was able, things were working out for me, you feel me, that I couldn't quite explain. But the moment I was just so focused on trying to understand and process this child of mine, you know what I'm saying, it comes with pros and cons. But listen, there's some things were unexplained, just simple as that. But I didn't get her full emotional attention the first day I decided to do that. It took time. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to understand, when raising a little girl and the mom is not giving her the full attention, or the dad is not giving her full attention, and being the fact, again, look at my previous video, she's a karmic gifted child. So she feels everything from the past as well as everything in the present. You know what I'm saying? And she's so young, so she doesn't really know how to process and explain what she's going through, but her behavior is painting a picture that's not okay. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I had the police called on me, I had CPS called on me, but none of those things seem to have any validation, because when I started to understand that I have to focus on this little girl that needs my attention. And 100% of it, things in life were working out for me. And I may not have been, you know, in the flashiest car with all the flashiest diamonds on and out at the club every weekend, but that wasn't my main focus, because I didn't give a fuck about that shit, excuse my language, but this is serious to me. You know what I'm saying? Over time, it took time. You know what I'm saying? Me cooking meals for her and me just being there for her still wasn't enough, because y'all gotta understand, even though I did that for her, I still had work to do on myself. So a little bit of me is still thinking about, dang, what I'm gonna do. I'm stressed out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on my phone all the time, not really paying her no attention. You know what I'm saying? Kids need attention. They need you to update the things that they feel, because if you don't, as a parent, validate those things that they feel, they will find that validation from anywhere outside of you. You know what I'm saying? And so I seen a video on IG the other day from one of the person I follow, Honey from Louisiana, and he was showing a video where a kid would be like, hey mom, look. And it could be the simplest thing, as a kid just wanting to show their mom they can jump up and down. When you're looking and paying attention to that, it makes them feel validated. It makes them feel confident. It may be small to you, but it's big to them. You know what I'm saying? And I had to learn that, because in my weakest moments, I never had nobody really pay attention to me. So I had to learn how to give it to myself as well as my child. And I wasn't good with it at first. You know what I'm saying? When you're stressed out and you're worried about things, your kid will come up to you and be like, hey mom, look, and you yelling, stop, don't do that, because you worried about the bills and stuff, not realizing how you're transforming that energy onto them. When they feel as if you're not paying attention to them, you know what I'm saying? And you're not taking the littlest thing about them into consideration, what transpires inside them is, dang, she don't never even want to pay attention to me. So then they end up not showing you nothing. And you're wondering why they're, you know what I'm saying, so quick to, you know, be in the outside world showing other people attention. Because they're not getting it from you. Kids feel energy at a young age, and the only reason why they get to a certain point in life where it's turned off is because we have programmed them to not express their feelings, to not express how they feel. You know what I'm saying? So listen, with me, do I take this YouTube thing serious? I do, because I feel like it's important for people to know. But if my child comes and tells me she wrote in her journal, she comes and tells me, hey mom, look at this on the phone or the computer. Or she tells me, hey mom, I learned how to do something new. She gets my full attention. I stop whatever I am doing and I give her my full attention. And I'm paying attention to everything that she's saying and asking questions, and how does she feel about it, and why did she do this and why did she do that. And I promise you, that little step right there makes them feel so validated. Versus you being on your phone and they come and show you something and you not really paying attention. Your intention is not there. It's majority in your phone. They feel that. So even though they may have shown you a picture that they drew, they walk off not feeling like you was paying attention to them. And how I know is because I did an example on my child one time. You feel me? Because she had a problem of finding it so hard to listen to me. When I'm expressing to her certain things, she would jump on the couch. She would be, you know what I'm saying, twirling around, doing this and doing that. And I'm like, listen, you want me to listen to you, but you're not listening to me. I don't like that. And she just, for some reason, she just couldn't understand it and get it, right? So one time she came and she had something to say to me. And she was really, you know, in her emotions at that point in time. I kept my head in the phone. She talking, I'm like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm giving her the side eye because I can feel her. And I know she's not liking what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So I waited until she was done. I said, so how did you feel that I didn't give you my direct eye contact and direct attention? I was in my phone. She just got shy and huffed her shoulders. You know what I'm saying? So I said, so when you come and you talk to me, you know what I'm saying, I give you my full undivided attention. I put my phone down. You know what I'm saying? Anything I'm involved in, she gets my full attention, period. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want you to know that I'm truly invested in who you are as a person. And I promise you, that goes a long way in a child. You know what I'm saying? We have seemed to forget that because we have been so in tune to money, 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 money. You know what I'm saying? It's so crazy that all I see on social media is not nobody even living their real life. Everybody is just trying to get monetized and get money. Because in the background, what they're not telling you is that some people are going through a hard time in life. They are not in peace. They're going through a lot of struggles. And I'm only speaking from truth, guys. Since I have dedicated myself to emotionally fulfilling myself as well as my child, I'm not worried about nothing. I'm not worried about what the average person is worried about. You know what I'm saying? And it's all in understanding and believing and knowing that when you do and fulfill your mission as a person, things will work out for you when you least expect it. You know what I'm saying? If you're not so focused and stressed out on making money, and you know what I'm saying, you can have a 12-year-old child and you go and have a simple conversation, you know what I'm saying, in the park with her. And you figure out what she's into, how she feels about her life. You know what I'm saying? What type of ice cream she likes. You know what I'm saying? What's going on at school. You know what I'm saying? That worry that you had of not getting that bill paid, you could get home and somebody that owe you some money from back in June or something like that can send you the Cash App. Next thing you know, everything is good. You know what I'm saying? It's all about changing your thoughts because they could get the best of you. You know what I'm saying? And have you out here tripping. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think people really want to understand that because the brain has been so programmed to get money and make sure we have this life and this lifestyle that we present to people so we can get the attention and the love that we need. Again, I'm going to upload a video today. Attention is not love, and attachment is not a true connection. For real. You feel me? You can find out that because of those things, you would think a person really rock with you, and they don't. You know what I'm saying? But I'm establishing a bond with my child. You know what I'm saying? By understanding and letting her know that outside of the material gain that you could have and lose, I care about your soul and who you are as a person. And because we were never taught that in past generations, you know what I'm saying? Maybe in, you know, the two generations before us, maybe that was established. But then again, they don't want to seem crazy or they don't want to seem weird, so they let people mislead them. I promise you, people can see your giftedness inside of you. And if they don't have it or they're not, you know what I'm saying, on that side, they will come in and try to diminish everything about you and make you feel less than. And so now everybody's in this box where we all gifted, we know we gifted, but ain't nobody getting further than this gun line. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just trying to give people the game so that they can understand it is very vital in life right now that people understand it's a different approach to making life work for you. You know, it's not about the money so much to cover up everything of who you are and what's going on. And I'll give you another example. I was on Facebook today, and one of my Facebook friends, he's a guy, right? He posted a status on how he has a daughter and she just canceled the trip to New York, and you know, she has a big room at his house and it just seems like she don't care. And he started blaming it on the BM and all that. And I asked him, I said, so have you being there for her been all about money? Do you know her favorite color? Do you know what she wants in life? Do you know her plans for her life? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not about the fancy trip to New York in the big room. Sometimes it's about a simple conversation over a movie or lunch to figure out, you know, what that person is going through. You know what I'm saying? And he deleted the whole status. Like, you completely took the status off. You know what I'm saying? And what he's not understanding is I'm looking through your pictures. I see what you post. You got the bins with the candy paint. You got, you know what I'm saying, the fly clothes. You look good every day, all that. And the work inside, but you're handicapped, paralyzed because you're in a wheelchair. And maybe that may make you feel less than from everybody. So you need the clothes and the cars and the money to make yourself feel good. But in turn, you having to be able to obtain those things, you're putting your energy more on chasing the money and less on getting to know your child. And so when you come around, your child feels that. You know what I'm saying? She don't want you to just go take her to get her nails done and, you know what I'm saying, take her on a trip and all you do is take a bunch of pictures and make it seem like you being daddy of the year, when you don't even know her as a person. You know what I'm saying? And not all men, but a lot of men think like that. If I just go and buy the clothes and buy the shoes and drop off some money and Pampers and milk and stuff, I'm daddy of the year. No. It's about spending time with your child. It's about getting to know them, getting to know who they are. You know what I'm saying? And you never know the magic that could be created in that. You could be getting to know yourself as well, because it is a part of you. You know what I'm saying? But we have been so separated from that, especially a man that has daughters. You know what I'm saying? It is very, very disrespectful for any man to come up to me and say, "What's up, blood?" and give me a handshake. I am a woman. I have a name to your partners. You know what I'm saying? And being the fact that I didn't know who I was in the beginning, I was cool with that. I let that slide, but I'm not letting that slide no more. And I'm going to say something about it. You know what I'm saying? It's real. But we have so been off balance in life that we can't seem to understand those things. And I'm just here to let people know that if y'all stop focusing so much on the money aspect, on the paying attention to the fine print in your life, and the emotional needs of yourself and your child, things will work out for you in your life. You will find yourself not being as stressed out about things as you were. You know what I'm saying? You won't have to be playing keep up with the Joneses and all that. You know what I'm saying? Because who gives a damn? Because I'm the type of person, I don't care if you got a Jaguar, a Benz, none of that. If I pull up in the Honda and my AC blowing and I'm stepping out, like, you could keep that BMW, because when that car start to break it down and you ain't got the money to pay for the repairs, you gonna be at the shop or then sold the car and walking back on feet while I'm in my car blowing the AC. You know what I'm saying? Listen, things can happen to you in your mental when you start to pay attention to the fine print in your life. You know what I'm saying? People are wigging out and stressed out because they have just so focused on the money that that's all they had. The image that they created for people to see. Excuse me. That now they losing it. They don't have it. And they stressed out because they realizing, oh, that's all I had. The real me, I don't really want to show nobody, or I'm too in fear of letting somebody get to know the real me for real because they're going to take advantage or try to get over. But believe it or not, the fine print and the shift, they all coincide together and they're starting to become one. You know what I'm saying? And if you may not want to get in touch with your true self, your kids are very understanding of energy and how it works. You know what I'm saying? And if they feel any type of wrong energy coming off of you, don't be surprised. It's an unspoken language. It's not a language that is spoken. It is a feeling thing. It is a knowing, a feeling, and an intuition. You know what I'm saying? And maybe a lot of women are teaching men to get back into their intuition, because when you turn off your intuition of how you feel as a man and you turn on your emotions of getting money, anything sensitive you're not able to identify with. It's just all about money and control. You know what I'm saying? So again, both women and men are needed. You know what I'm saying? Because without them, each one can't teach one. Like, but don't get so thrown off your path that all you focus on is the money. Listen, I just seen a video today on Facebook of a baby sitting on the pool table with Hennessy bottles and a whole bunch of men smoking weed around her. Why? You don't think she could feel that? You don't think she know what's going on? You feel me? She might want to be with her mom and get a hug, not around a bunch of men who shooting dice and smoking weed and, you feel me, drinking Hennessy. She's a kid. She's a baby. All that perceives to her is a bunch of people who are not in touch with their emotions. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it's very complex. It's very strange. It's very complex. You almost have to be kind of crazy to understand where I'm coming from. But the little few views that I get from my videos let me know that someone is highly tapped in. And understanding and knowing that when you change the fine print of your life, and not even change, yeah, some things you need to change, but just pay attention and look at it, things will start working out for you in your life, that you'll become at peace. Because everything flows where your energy goes. And that's facts. Wherever you put the most energy to is where it will flow. That's life. That's what it is. That's how life operates. That's how it works. But that is the magic to life. And that's what they are not teaching us or telling us, especially in these schools. You know what I'm saying? It's all about do the work, get the work done so you can work a 9 to 5. And don't get me wrong, we need people to fill those positions too. But they put their energy towards that. If that's not something they're meant to be doing, they're not going to put their energy to it. And they didn't went to school and wasted all that time going to a 4-year college for a degree to get out and be on SSI in Section 8. Like, bro, what happened? It's time. The time is now. And it's time for us to, you know what I'm saying, get back into what makes us as people. And everything else will flow behind it. They are portraying in these videos, you know what I'm saying, for a long time they had us thinking everybody who had the money was the flyest and the dopest. And don't get me wrong, it's nothing wrong with having money, but at the same time, that doesn't make a person. That's not the person's true identity because they got money. And it don't even show their power because they got money. They could be the weakest one in the room because they so flashy. You know what I'm saying? It's a different set of rules that shows a person's power. But the only way we'll be able to figure those things out is we have to humble ourselves back down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You stressed out and going through so much because your image was the money. And now that you ain't got so much, or you struggling and you got to make ends meet, or you got to do this and you got to do that because you're so used to what people think about you, that is causing a mental disaster in your brain. And that's why people are stressed out and things aren't working out. If you want the mental peace in your brain, and I'm just one person, but I'm just saying though, having mental peace in your brain and not worried about nothing is the best thing in the world. You ain't got to trip off nothing. And I'm pretty sure everybody wants to acquire that, but you have to work on you first. Stop skipping over the fine print to just sign the contract. Read your fine print to your life. It's important, because what's fine print to your life is also fine print to your kids' life. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter about them being draped up and looking nice and cute and all that. Like, are you paying attention to the fact that they like to draw? Are you paying attention to the fact of what they're interested in, what they're into? Or are you too busy, you know, being involved in drinking and smoking and extracurricular activities? Or, you know what I'm saying, not feeling confident in yourself to where they just want you to pay attention to them for 5 minutes and you yelling. Like, the fine print, it's important. And we're getting back to that. These big contracts y'all just signing, they finna make y'all start paying attention to the fine print. And I'm just trying to give y'all a little bit of the game early. So, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's very important, because if people don't start to understand, it's going to be a lot of destruction in your own life as well as the people's lives around you. And you're not going to have no choice but to pay attention to the fine print, because they throwing out big contracts.